Hi, welcome back to another episode of Your Money Mindset, guiding you to achieve lasting financial freedom and peace of mind. I'm John McGregor. Another day out here in the wilderness of Northern California, in gold country as they call it. Out on my mountain bike this morning, just getting started. But I've been thinking a lot about this episode, and this episode is really extremely important. It's probably the best advice I could give any young adult, particularly someone in high school or in college or just graduating for college, really anyone under 30 years old. Now, having said this advice I'm going to give you applies to anyone of all ages, but I think this is particularly pertinent to those younger adults. And if they take this advice and follow through, their life will be incredible. It will change their life and make so many things so much easier in the future. And the reason I'm bringing this up is a couple of reasons, actually. In the 25 years I've been working with thousands of individuals of all walks of life, all income ranges, all net worths, the hardest conversation I have to have is when a 60, 65 years old, or even 70-year-old comes into my office, or even a couple, which is even worse, comes into my office and they say, "Hey, John, I'm ready to retire. I've busted my tail for 30, 35 years, and it's now time for me to enjoy my golden years. Let's make it happen." And they lay out their financial information, and almost instantly I can tell right away there's no way they're going to be able to retire the way they've always envisioned for themselves and their families. They're either going to have to keep working or they're going to have to live a very frugal retirement lifestyle. Again, nothing that they ever envisioned for. They've worked their tails off to get to where they are, and now they have nothing to fall back on. And telling them that is extremely excruciating, knowing that they're wanting to just relax and enjoy their time, in their late mid-60s, and now they can't. They have to go back to a job they're burnt out on, they can no longer do, and they no longer want to do. And that's why we see so many people that are, in their 60s working at McDonald's or Walmart or what have you. And I certainly don't want that for you. The other thing I see so often is, I'm in the gym almost every day, and I like to sit in the sauna afterwards to kind of recover. And there's always young adults in there, and conversations always come up. A lot of people in the gym know what I do, and I wrote a book, and I work with Robert Kiyosaki, and they've read Rich Dad, Poor Dad, and so they're always looking to pick my brain. And I always ask them about their goals, or how do they envision themselves in the future, and what does retirement look like to them? And a lot of these questions they've never even considered before. And of course, they always say, "Look, I want to make a lot of money, and I want to live on my own terms, and I want to enjoy myself, and I want to travel and raise a family and have grandchildren," all those kind of, beautiful, wonderful goals that we all shoot for. And then I'll ask, "Well, what are you doing right now for that?" And they just kind of look at me with a blank stare in their eyes. They're not doing anything. They've got all the tattoos. They spent thousands of dollars on tattoos because that's a priority, right? They've got the purebred dog or cat or what have you. And nothing wrong with animals, but I'm just saying that, they've got the nice car. They live in a nice place, but they've got zero in savings, zero or very little. And they're working paycheck to paycheck, like 78 or 80% of people are today, living paycheck to paycheck. And that problem's getting worse, by the way. So what I want to talk to you about is, and again, if you are in this age range, or if you know somebody who is, please send them this video, because this could literally change their life. And it's very basic, right? As an 18-year-old or 22-year-old or whatever it is, the sooner you start putting money away, the easier your life is going to be down the road. And that's exactly what I did. I had my aha moment when I was 21, landscaping yards in Hawaii, and I saw a financial travesty occur. And from that moment, that was my awakening moment. I vowed to myself that I would never be in a situation like this couple was, this house that I was working on. They lived large. They had this beautiful house, the nice car, the watches, the handbags, the jacuzzi and the barbecue in the back, and all the nice things, but they were broke. They were bankrupt. In fact, they had to leave the house because collectors were after them. They were living in the basement of the wife's sister's home, hiding from collection agencies. And that's when I said to myself, I'm going to vow never to be like that. I'm going to put as much money away as I possibly can. And I set a goal to retire by the time I was 40, to be financially free by the time, financially free by the time I was 40. And I hit my goal at 37, 3 years ahead of schedule. And it was nothing magic. There was no brilliance on my part. I just was diligent with my money. I budgeted, I saved, I invested, and rinsed and repeated. I just did that over and over again. I lived a good life. I enjoyed life, but I really made sure that I put away as much money as I possibly can for the future. And your goal, if you're listening to this, should be to put away 20% of your income every single month, which means every single year. 20%. You do that, in 30 years, your life will be set. You will have so much more pleasure, less stress. You'll live more confident. You'll be able to do things you've always wanted to. And you will be able to live the life of your dreams. Look, the idea of working 30 years, retiring with the gold watch, and getting a pension for life doesn't exist anymore. Pensions don't exist anymore. They still do, but they're going away. And those that do are severely underfunded. And we're seeing those benefits being cut. We're seeing these promised benefits that these people have worked 30 years for to get. Now they're being challenged in court. And they're losing. These people are losing these court battles, and they're seeing their pensions cut by 30 to 50%. Social Security is bankrupt by 2034. That's just in a few years from now. And people's personal savings is next to zero. And as I said earlier, 78% of people are living paycheck to paycheck. That was before COVID. So the problem is even worse today. So people are not diligent with their money. So I will say to you, before you rent that nice condo or buy that nice car, the first thing you need to do when you get that first paycheck is to take 20% of it and to put it into a long-term investment account and forget it. Get some advice from a financial advisor or a robo-advisor or what have you. Do your own research, which you should do, regardless of who you use or don't use. But just put that money away and let it ride. You don't even have to open the statements on a regular basis. Just let it ride. 20% automatically. I don't want you to write a check. I want you to just set it up automatically so it sweeps right out of your bank account into an investment account, and it gets invested for the long term. Here's why. You put $10,000 away annually at a 7% average rate of return for 30 years. That will ultimately be $1.1 million. And you'll be surprised how fast 30 years go by. Trust me, 30 years is just, I can't believe. I graduated from high school about 30 years ago. I cannot believe it. Time flies. You do that. You put away $20,000 per year for 30 years at a 7% average rate of return. And you're looking at doubling that, $2.2 million. You see the power of that? Do you see the power of compounding? And let me just say one thing on rates of return. I'm not saying you're going to get a 7% rate of return every single year. I'm saying your average rate of return over time is 7%. And that 7% I'm quoting is actually conservative because the average market, going back the last 150 years, however long they started analyzing the data, the average return in the stock market is about 10%. I'm saying 7 just to be conservative. Now, that's not, again, 10% every year. That's up 15 one year, down 6 the next, up 8, down 3, up 11, down 4. You get the picture. Markets go up and down. But over time, if you smooth that out, it's an average return of about 10%. Please take this advice to heart. Like I said earlier, it would be an absolute game changer for you and your family. And will change your life. Skip the nice condos, the fancy cars, the Gucci bags, the nice watches, all those tattoos that are costing thousands of dollars. You can live a very happy life without all that stuff. This is not sacrificing your gratification. This is delaying your gratification for the time in your future when you most need it and you most want it. Don't be another 65-year-old that comes into my office and says, John, I'm ready to retire. And I have to tell you, you can't. You have to keep working. All right. Well, I hope that inspired you. And I hope you take that to heart. And if you know somebody in that age bracket, for anyone really, but particularly the younger age, please send this off to them. It really could change their life. I've got a ton of free resources on my website that you can download immediately to start that journey to financial freedom and peace of mind right now. And I'm really excited to announce my online financial transformation course called Thrive Path, your solution to financial freedom and peace of mind. It is an absolute game changer that will not only change your financial life, but it'll change your overall life as well. Click the link below to learn more. With that, don't forget to hit subscribe, hit that bell below and hit subscribe. And we'd love to hear a comment from you. Until next time, take care, upward and onward. Thanks. Bye-bye.